Hello, kitties. This is your Julie, the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Welcome to Slasher Radio. Your host Mikey Moans, Kat Velour, and Rob Humphrey. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Looking forward to the episode today.
Yeah. Just ready to get into some Texas Chainsaw Massacre rankings. That's going to be a good time for everybody.
Yeah. There's a lot going into this episode. This is week 3 of Murder by Numbers, where we're ranking franchise and rank 3 of them. And then next week, the final week, the finale, we could even call it, of the event, where we rank them all we mush them all together into one complete ranking list, which should be interesting.
With highly scientific math.
Yeah, that's what we can call it. Sure.
Yeah, I would explain the math to you, but you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it's us. We're the problem. I have been quoted as of recently in our group chat of telling Kat I will never forgive her for making me watch all these movies. And Kat, I stand by that.
Well, we're going to come out with my first hot take. I said I didn't know if I had any. I know that I have one, and we're just going to get it out of the way now. I had more fun rewatching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre this week, even though I was abandoned by Mr. Cat's boyfriend. He did not watch the entire franchise with me.
He's like, fuck it, I'm out.
Even by myself, I had more fun watching this than I did Child's Play. And I was really, I knew it was going to be an issue because Rob was like, there are so many of these movies, and it's like, there is one more Texas Chainsaw than there is Child's Play. And he was like, but these suck.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we're going to throw hands, I think.
It's an awful franchise. A couple stellar movies, but by and large, just terrible.
So I will say, and we'll talk about like which ones as we do our countdowns. Going into this, my memory of the franchise as a whole, other than like the ones that I rewatch frequently, which like 1, 2, the remake, my memory of the franchise was like, they're bad, but I have a fun time watching them. Mm-hmm. There are not as many like bad ones as I thought. Like almost all of them have a redeeming quality for me. There are really only a couple that I didn't have fun with this week. Like I just had a blast. This was a great week.
That was not my experience.
Me either.
Also, my experience, I should be upfront and say that I did not complete my entire franchise rewatch because I forgot that one of the movies existed.
The one that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, I had timed it out I was running out of time, but I was like, I definitely got time to watch these last 2. And I pulled up the franchise list to double check it and went, shit, there's 3. Because I forgot that Texas Chainsaw 3D was a thing.
Which for the listeners at home, that is... do your thing, cuz.
Yes. I did not watch.
But you've seen it.
I didn't skip that one. I skipped the 2022 because I was watching them in order.
Oh,
so
you don't gotta watch 2022.
No, I don't. We already did an episode on it. Everybody knows how I feel about that fucking movie.
We never have. I didn't watch the original again. I didn't watch the second one again. Those 2 I've seen, a million times. My opinion's not changing on those. And I didn't watch the remake again. 2022. So yeah.
I watched everything except 2022.
Smart man.
I watched all of them except the original because I just saw the original last week with Mr. Cat's boyfriend while we thought we were going to do the entire franchise together.
Mm.
He didn't even see 2.
Mr. Cat's boyfriend guy.
That's a mistake.
I know.
I'm jealous of him. Like he skirted right on that. I feel like Mr. Cat's boyfriend guy should still have to watch this whole franchise, Rob, right or wrong?
You're not wrong.
Mandatory.
You're not wrong. I had to do it.
He's going to have to do it at some point.
Okay.
We're going to be locked in a cabin in the woods this next week. He's going to watch these films.
That is a whole threat.
I will
Vicious.
say, just because I know my personality, I will probably end up watching the 2022 movie anyway.
I also do want to give
Why?
some. Because I'm
Because
picking.
my mind will not let me just stop.
Fuck your mind, dude. Don't
If you're
do
one
that.
movie away, you have to do it. That was me in Scream 6, so I get it.
Yeah.
No, but this is way worse. The Scream 6 bad enough. Don't do that to yourself, Rob.
Well, yeah, the thing about Scream 6 is that opening is so good. Remember how we talked about that?
A quick defense for Mr. Cat's boyfriend, though, because he did hop back in for the remake.
Uh-huh.
For the 2003 remake. That was the one he came back in at. He did sit down to watch it with me, thinking that he was going into the 2022 one.
Oh.
So I do appreciate him for that. Like, he dodged a bullet still, but he didn't think he was dodging it when he sat
he
down
didn't
for the
know.
movie. He
Yeah.
didn't know. So
Yeah, but the other ones are bullets too, though. It's not like that was the only bullet he dodged. He dodged many bullets. He dodged a machine gun on this one.
That's a pleasant surprise. You sit down thinking you're going to watch 2022, and then you get
And
Jessica
then you
Biel in
get
that
tank
tank top. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a deal right there for you.
hell of a deal.
he also pointed out, he's going to be so mad at me. He's going to be like, why were you telling people this on the podcast?
Spill it.
But
Yep, I love
he
it.
He also pointed out in the prequel, which he hated with a passion.
Which
He's only
one?
seen 3 of these movies. He has seen the original, he's seen the 2003, and he's seen the prequel to the 2003 one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning.
Yeah.
And he hates the sheriff, so he understandably was irrationally furious at that film before we put it in. Like, he saw the box and was like, I don't want to do this. But he pointed out that the actress, the final girl in the movie is wearing very, very low cut jeans.
She is.
Yeah.
That is Jordana Brewster, and I'm on board with that. That is a good decision.
Yeah. There was butt crack a couple times there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Jordana Brewster.
I'm a big fan of those jeans.
He is because of the jeans.
Also, how do you hate the sheriff? Like,
he really hated the sheriff.
did he hate the character or the actor? Because that actor is amazing.
No, he just hated the character.
Okay. All right. Because, that's the drill sergeant for Full Metal Jacket. He's incredible.
Yeah. He did a really good job. I think that issue is that he was doing a really good job being unlikable. Because the sheriff, specifically in the prequel, I think, terrible character.
Oh, yeah. He's a bad guy, yeah. But a great actor. Great actor. Okay. I thought maybe you were saying he didn't like the actor, and I was a little hurt by that.
No.
But yeah, Jordana Brewster, she was working those jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we have obviously round 3 or night 3 of Murder by Numbers. We're going to be ranking the Texas Chainsaw Massacre here shortly. We do have a little bit of horror news, and a drink roll call, which I'm very excited to get into and a little worried about. I'm not gonna lie. So let's start with drink roll call. What are you guys drinking?
I've got a whiskey sour.
I'm doing graveyard maintenance today. I have an assortment of beers from the last several weeks. So it is currently my dragon beer. We're going to follow it up with some zombie dust.
I think Mikey's got some Sweet Baby Jesus you can have.
That's okay.
I can't remember. Oh, was it? I think it was fucking Aggie. Aggie.
God damn it, you want an or?
She was drinking, and it wasn't Sweet Baby Jesus, but she had a peanut butter beer recently.
Yeah.
Was it her, Rob?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her. Yeah, she was talking about a peanut butter beer.
God damn, those are so nice. But she was so happy about it. She loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn it, man. All that went through my mind is Sweet Baby Jesus. But no, my drink roll call drink is a little dangerous here. And I don't know how much more dangerous it's going to get throughout the show, but I just want to go over margarita in a can has alcohol content in the can of what was it, Rob? 12.3?
Yeah, it's like 12. Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, and the tiki rum Mai Tai that I had was a 12.5. I am drinking Cutwater Long Island iced tea, which is ringing in at a full 13% alcohol content rate.
There you go.
Those Long Island iced tea, they are tasty. They are dangerous.
Dude, I'm having trouble here right now because I cut it open about an hour ago. And I was like, let me, because then I'll be able to, if I need to come down a little bit before we record in a few hours, I'll be able to, and I can adjust then and figure out what I got to do. It is like a buzz per sip.
Yeah.
I swear
They're
to God.
not fucking around. And the thing about the Long Island iced tea is because I think that was the second one that I had. The Mai Tai, you can taste the alcohol like while you're drinking it. The iced tea creeps up on you like.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine and I took the first sip and I said, oh shit, I taste nothing but goodness. And this is bad.
What does it taste like?
Tastes like a Long Island iced tea without the alcohol. This bad news bears going on over here.
So it just tastes like an iced tea?
Yeah, kind of,
but
like
it's a little Arizona iced tea.
I can't drink. I don't like tea. I don't like that taste.
Oh,
well, it's fucking gross. Yeah.
Then you might not like the Long Island iced tea,
No.
but it tastes so smooth.
Okay. But because Long Island's like when you get them at like a bar or whatever, it doesn't taste like tea at all.
No.
Well, this has a little bit of the carbonated soda to it, a little bit.
Yeah.
That's got
You'll like what it does to you, I swear.
Yeah.
And I
will say if you don't like if you don't like the first sip, you'll like the second or third.
You sure the fuck will.
But I will say, Mikey, speaking of Cutwater stuff, you dropped in the fucking sex tape thing again. And what I noticed listening to it was you can hear me getting drunker as it goes. Like I was very funny, and I'm pretty sure that was a margarita in a can night.
It was a margarita in a can. It was.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Little Miss Huge Clown Penis. While I was editing that episode. And I said that to her. I'm like, dude, you can, because I played it, like I just shared it while I was doing it because everyone loves hearing that shit. And I was like, bro, you can hear him getting drunker progressively throughout this clip. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop drinking those fucking things on this show. And the next day was a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. My favorite part of that whole montage is the one spot where you go, "You motherfucker!" Like, just what does it mean? I love it so much. But anyway, so I'm gonna try and I just finished the first one.
Okay.
You have your rule of where you give people shit, where you got to drink too. So damn it,
that was just for Allie.
Oh.
And that was just because she was drinking margarita in a can, and I was just letting her know I drink two. I used to drink 2 per episode, so yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you show me up, man. I'm gonna drink 2 now.
Do it.
I'm raise no bitch over here. God damn it, Mr.
We're gonna have a Mikey montage now.
Yeah, we might. Motherfucker.
Make sure you're recording, right?
Yeah. Oh God, are we? Yeah. All right. Good. We're trying to remind me to do that at the end of the episode. We could see if maybe there's a little bit of difference in how I do it. So yeah, this should be interesting. All right, a little bit of hard news here. It's not really news because there's not like a ton of news going on, but Bloody Disgusting does have, Bloody Disgusting does have out a summer horror preview, and that is where a lot of these horror movies are hitting, throughout the latter end of the year, and especially in the summer. So I figured we can kind of just go through this real quick.
There's a number of movies coming out this summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Including on Thursday, the Possession movie with Russell Crowe and Niles from Frasier.
I keep blocking that out, and you keep bringing it up.
Yes. When I saw the trailer for the first time, I was like, did they make a Pope's Exorcist sequel already? But no, it's just Russell Crowe in a different Possession movie.
That's the part I think that makes me the most mad.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was not happy about a Pope's Exorcist sequel, but I was willing to accept it. But that's like as far as I'm willing to go. Russell Crowe in a second one of these, it's too much.
Yeah, and then Niles from Frasier shows up, and I
know
what the fuck is happening.
There's a whole other element to it.
So but in regarding the Pope's Exorcist, I think I'm coming around on that movie a little bit. It's kind of stupid, but it's kind of fun too. I don't hate it. I mean, the dude rides a Vespa scooter like all the way across Italy. It's hilarious.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, we could just go through this real quick, and it's a good list for everybody to kind of see what's coming up and what to keep an eye out for. And the beginning of this year through today, even has kind of been a weak year for horror so far.
Yeah.
So, here's some bright spots and more low spots.
Well, possible bright spots. That's the thing. We've had some stuff already come out that I thought were going to be bright spots that just didn't hit, like Abigail.
Yeah.
Like, it was okay, but it wasn't great. A boring stroll through nature, or whatever the fuck that stupid movie was called. I thought it was going to be really cool to see this vicious slasher movie, and it's okay, I guess. It's kind of boring. You mostly just look at the back of some dude walking through the woods.
Yeah. All right. So the first one is Under Paris, coming out June 5th. And this is a shark movie, and I've seen this recently, and I'm actually kind of excited to see it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. It's on Netflix. I'm looking forward to watching it. I've had too much other stuff to watch.
They should have called it Shark Bleu.
All right, I don't know what that means.
It looks interesting. I mean, it's a real shark movie, like, well, real quote unquote, but like a realistic shark movie. So I'm here for it, and I want to see it.
Have you watched it, Kat?
Yeah, I watched it. I stayed up to watch it at midnight.
Okay. Yeah,
did you like it, or did it suck?
I liked it.
Oh,
I will say it's not. Mikey, this might give you some hope. My biggest complaint with it is that it could have been a lot sillier than it was.
Oh, God damn it!
Like, it was not very silly.
Well, I'm less interested.
I mean, it's got some. It's hard to describe because it's like you can't call it a serious shark movie, because when you look at other serious shark movies, we've got like Jaws, and that's very serious in comparison to this one, which is a little bit. It's objectively ridiculous because it's sharks in the Seine, which is just a place that sharks could not survive.
Right. Yeah.
But on the other side of that, like, it's not, like five-headed shark attack silly,
God.
It's a very middle of the road suspension of disbelief shark movie. And it's very French. It's an aggressively French film. Like, they were not fucking around with that part, which is why I think they could have called it Shark Bleu or Champs-Élysées.
No, that's good. That would have been good.
Yeah.
And now, are they wearing berets and chomping on baguettes, or what makes them French sharks? What is that?
Jesus Christ.
It's like, how French movies are kind of just like needlessly depressing?
Yes.
It's not as bad as, like, again, a lot of the French movies that we've watched on this show are like extreme horror movies, and it doesn't reach that level, but there is sort of this sense of nihilism that runs all the way through what otherwise could have been a comedy movie. Okay. So it's like, it's a weird tone.
Yeah. So it's like the depression that set in when we thought that guy died in Five-Headed Shark Attack, but then we realized that he was okay.
It's like if the whole movie took place during that minute.
That real emotional center of the film, yeah.
Yeah. But I liked it. I thought it was fun.
All right. The next one up, some of these I haven't even heard before. Trim Season, June 7th.
Sounds made up.
Yeah, and it's never heard of that. Don't know what that is.
Oh, no, let's stop being mean to it. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. There's hope. A job at a marijuana farm turns nightmarish in Trim Season, directed by award-winning filmmaker and production designer Ariel Vida. Anything else interesting here? It's just a bunch of other stuff that people that are in it, which, Hellfest, who the hell remembers who's in that thing?
Yeah.
And Corey Hart from Fear the Walking Dead. Who the fuck knows? That's it. No other information. I'm here, though. I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, The Watchers, which we were talking about before we recorded, June 7th.
That is bad. M. Night Shyamalan's daughter directed it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And nothing against her. Hopefully she goes on to have a great career, but boy, was that a bad movie.
Is it better or worse than his last couple of movies?
It is better than, let's see, what were his last couple of movies? He did Old.
Old is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, it's better than Old. It's not as fun as Old, though. That's the thing.
No.
There's no fun to be had in The Watchers.
That's not great.
And that's the thing, like, Old is like so bad that it's kind of enjoyable at times.
I will say I do really like Mid-Sized Sedan.
Yes.
He also did Knock at the Cabin.
Oh yeah. I would say it's close to Knock at the Cabin. I would say they're kind of similar. I would put it kind of on that same level. But yeah, it's just not very good. I guess it's based on, I don't know if it's based on a book or a short story or something, but I don't know. I just didn't care for it.
All right.
The next movie is Tiger Stripes, June 14th.
No clue.
No idea.
I feel like I've heard about it though. I don't know. I don't know. It just sounds familiar. The Exorcism, June 21st.
That is Russell Crowe and David Hyde-Pierce. And that is the big horror release coming up this week. So I will probably be in the theater watching this, getting pissed off about the time this episode releases.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Next movie is Humanist Vampires Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. Hell of a name.
That was the Cat Velour, Spirit of Cat Velour winner at the Slashies last year. It's a foreign film. Apparently is going to be released here in the States now. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to it getting a States release because I do like to watch the Spirit of Cat Velour films.
Yeah.
Limited theaters, it says. So, yeah. Nice.
So that's one to like put on the schedule if I want to make it.
Yeah.
Here's one that's going to be out on Shudder, though. June 28th is called The Devil's Bath. That sounds gross.
That sounds disgusting, but I'll probably watch it.
Yeah. Here's one that's interesting and is probably going to be horrible. A Quiet Place Day One comes out in theaters on June 28th.
Yeah, the biggest question with this movie is why. Like
I have a prediction. I think that maybe they can do this for one more movie where we ask, why do we need that? And we go and we watch it and it's a fun time. And then we don't remember it in a year. I think they can pull it off one more time. I think if we get any more Quiet Place movies, they're going to suck. But I have some hope that this will be like a mindless, fun time.
Right. That's what A Quiet Place 2 was, right? Like I saw it and I went, okay, that wasn't bad. That was actually kind of good. And I couldn't tell you a thing about that movie right now.
Right.
No,
I'm pretty sure they ended up on an island or something.
But they won't be though, because it's based in it's going to be set in New York. So we all know how that goes. It's not going to be good. That
sounds fine.
As someone from New York, I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. Or Scream 6.
And it was probably shot in Toronto.
Kiss my ass. The next movie is Kill. Comes out on July 4th in theaters.
Wow, it's just called Kill?
Just Kill.
And it's going to theaters, huh?
Yep.
Never heard of it.
Me either. Moving forward. Oh, here's one we've all heard of. Maxine, July 5th. The trailer just dropped. Ow, my lip. Recently, I'm bite your lip drunk, apparently. I know Kat tries to stay away from trailers. Have you seen it, Kat? Rob, have you seen it? What do you think?
I saw the first one, but not the second one. Like, we just got a new one.
I saw the new one because it played before The Watchers. I'm very, very on the fence about whether this movie looks good or not. And in fact, I'm not on the fence about whether it looks good or not. After seeing that trailer, I think it looks bad. But I'm going to trust Ty West and Mia Goth and see what happens. And I'm still looking forward to seeing it.
They have one showtime at my local theater for Humanist Vampires Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person.
Oh, really? Just one?
They have one single one.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down now because I will forget.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I'm going to be like, what is this? I think we lost Mikey. I think he gave up on us. Oh, okay.
Oh, the trailer looked bad, and I was disappointed, and I don't want to say that because I am still looking forward to it, but I'm just at this point going in like, please just don't fuck this up. Please just don't fuck this up. And Ty West is talking about a fourth movie now.
No.
I know.
He just has to, he's got to get this one at just like an average score for this to be like the best horror trilogy ever, maybe. He just an okay score to not fuck this up, and then he needs to not do any more.
Yeah, well,
just carry this across the finish line.
There's talk of a fourth one, which I am not
encouraged
by at all.
Ty West.
But what if Maxine's really good? Would that change your tone on a fourth one?
No.
I don't want a fourth one. This was.
He's got a chance to do a perfect run.
Right. And go on and do something else. No matter what Maxine turns out to be, I'll be excited for the next Ty West thing because I've always liked his movies anyway. So, like, I'm already looking forward to whatever he's going to do after Maxine. And I really hope it's not a fourth movie.
Yeah.
in this story. Do another movie with Mia Goth if you want, but do something else.
All right. Next movie is Long Legs, July 12th.
Well,
yes.
This is possibly, after having seen that second trailer for Maxine, this is probably the movie that I'm most looking forward to this year, and I can't wait.
Long Legs is probably going to be my movie of the year. I have not seen it. I'm ready to call it now.
Yes, and we talked about this on the Nick fucking Woo Cage cast. There is a new trailer for it, and I have been warned from several people not to watch it because they say it shows more than you want to know.
Yeah, so this is our PSA for that.
Yes.
Next movie is Oddity, July 19th.
I saw the trailer for this and thought it looked dumb.
All right.
I know nothing about this one.
Yeah, I don't either. Damian McCarthy follows up creepy Caveat with a supernatural tale of revenge. One that features a sinister mannequin. What?
Oh,
and a blind medium.
Never mind.
Yeah, it looked really dumb.
You had
roller
me because I
coaster,
liked
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Caveat, and I liked Revenge.
Yeah, it looked really bad.
All right.
Looked like a bunch of dumb bullshit.
I have to be nicer to movies though, because after watching Poor Things, I think had one of the worst theatrical trailers I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt so dumb that I didn't take my chance to go see it in a theater after it came to Hulu.
Yeah, that
it was
movie was amazing. That movie was
But the
great.
trailer looked so stupid.
I don't remember the trailer for it. I feel like it's one I wanted to see, but I just never, I couldn't get to the theater to see it.
I had so many chances to go, and I was just like, I don't think it's going to be worth it. And now,
Because my kid always wants to go to the theaters with me, and that's not really the kind of movie I could take my son to see, know?
No.
Yeah, neither one of us is going to be comfortable sitting through that.
No. Okay. By the way, the second Long Island iced tea, Cutwater Long Island iced tea, is open.
All right, nice.
Okay.
So here we go.
Mikey's playing with fire here.
Yeah. The timer is on, is what that means. The next movie is Cuckoo, August 2nd in theaters. I don't know what this is. Cuckoo?
Cuckoo?
Cuckoo. Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Oh, it's cuckoo? I didn't. I was stuck on the cuck. Is that how you spell? I didn't know there was a C in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell of a deal.
Never heard of it, though.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, never heard of
I'm
this.
I saw
surprised.
a trailer for this one, and I was really surprised that this trailer didn't also play in front of Abigail. Like, the trailer for this just kind of went away because they played all of the same trailers minus this one. So I thought maybe it got pushed or something. But anyway, it looks bad.
Yeah.
Expect things to get weird when a team relocates his family to a strange resort in Germany. Oh, boy. That could get weird. All right, Borderlands, August 9th. I wonder if this is based off that Borderlands video game, because the image that's listed here is like very video gamey. I never played Borderlands, though.
I didn't play the game, and I have not heard of the movie.
I played Borderlands, but didn't they just get like that Eli Roth show adaptation? Would they be doing another one?
Ah, okay. Unlikely heroes must battle aliens, monsters, and dangerous bandits to find and protect a missing girl who may hold the key to an unimaginable power in Eli Roth's video game adaptation. Okay. So, and Jack Black is in this? God damn it.
And Gina Gershon, apparently.
Why I thought it was out already.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, the cast: Cate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis,
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right.
I never heard of it.
I might check it out. Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Kevin Hart, hell of a deal. I'm in. All right, we'll see. Again, never played the game though, but it seems pretty straightforward.
I will say I played the game. And this is going to be a hot take because I know that a lot of people like really ride or die for Borderlands. And I had a lot of fun with the game. I don't think it needs a movie. I don't think there's anything about Borderlands that warrants a movie.
But does it need an Eli Roth movie?
Nope.
Okay.
Next movie is latest from writer-director M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong is Trap. August 9th comes out in theaters.
I don't know what this is.
So dumb.
Really?
Because they show the twist. They show what could have been a twist in any other movie in the trailer. And I'm so excited about what like the crazy M. Night Shyamalan twist is on top of that.
Okay. I haven't seen a trailer for it. I've heard that it was coming out. Shyamalan's weird because most of his movies at this point, I would say the majority of his movies I don't like, but I'm always interested to see what the next one's going to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see this one too, even though I knew that it was coming. I've heard the title. I don't know anything else about it.
The trailer just looks really, really dumb. But I'm probably going to go see this one.
Says a psychological thriller that sees a father and daughter attend a concert only to discover it is an elaborate trap to catch a serial killer. Josh Hartnett stars. This is the end of the description.
Josh Hartnett stars. Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't go see this one.
Is that the note you want to end on?
That's it. End of description. Everyone else, they have like this whole list of people that are. There's Josh Hartnett's in this motherfucker. That's it. That's all we need to know.
I mean, look, yeah.
You know the movie I want to see though. Speaking of like the whole concert thing, that whole Taylor Swift bullshit where people were saying, "Oh, her concerts are to like you go into this trance and whatever the fuck." I would love to see a movie like based on that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously it's bullshit, but it isn't. Like, if that were a thing, it is super interesting.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you wanted to see that Taylor Swift movie. I'm like, it's on Disney Plus.
No.
Speaking of horror news, how have we not talked about the real news? The first 3 Human Centipede movies are on Disney Plus now, streaming.
Yeah.
I don't want to make people watch those.
Is that in America or is it overseas?
I think it's in America.
Is it really? I'd have to look. I know because Disney owns Hulu.
They own Hulu now, so they have a lot of like weird.
A lot of that stuff in America is on Hulu, but overseas it's all just Disney Plus.
Oh, maybe it is overseas.
Yeah, so they end up with a lot of weird shit. Like we were talking about Tim Davis, my friend who lives in Australia. He has like a lot of weird shit on his Disney Plus that is on Hulu here.
All right.
Oh, fuck me. The next one is The Crow, August 23rd. There you go, Tasha.
Totally looking forward to that.
Next one after that comes out on Shudder, and it is called Hellhole. What a name. August 23rd.
Okay.
The Hole of Hell. Oh, wait a minute. What? The next film from the Addams Family offers an indie rock and roll monster movie set. What? Oh, wait, it's Addams. It's not spelled. Oh, is that? Okay. It's not actually the Addams Family. It's,
yeah, no.
Okay. These motherfuckers are confusing the shit out of me every time they put something out. So annoying. Strange Darling is the next movie, and that comes out August 23rd. Ooh. Okay, I want to watch this, whatever it is. I haven't heard of it yet. The Front Room, September 6th. It'll be in theaters, and it stars Brandy from I Still Know You Did Last Summer.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's in it. Brandy Norwood. It's A24 film also.
Oh, okay.
Has anyone seen I Saw the TV Glow?
No.
I want to.
I can't find it anywhere. It never came to theaters here.
No.
I was so irritated. Because there is one theater by me that plays that kind of shit, those limited release things all the time. That's where I saw In a Boring Nature, but they didn't play it there.
All right. Well, we have 2 more movies on this list. One is Speak No Evil, September 13th in theaters. This one's pretty popular.
I will be there opening day.
Yeah, I hated the original so much. And it's when I talk about how much I hated the original, I hated it because it did exactly what it wanted to do, right? Like you're kind of supposed to be pissed off at the movie.
It does have that kind of funny games element that makes you mad.
So, given a little distance from it now, I'm kind of like, you know what? That's actually a pretty good, effective movie. Why we need an American remake, I don't understand. No idea why this movie exists. It's pointless. The movie's in English. It's not even a foreign language film. Why the fuck?
Because
we need an American version.
We saw a movie with dancing children and we were like, man, but what if they danced to Cotton Eye Joe?
Yes. That's the only thing I can figure. They wanted to get some Cotton Eye Joe love. But yes, I will probably see this.
I'm so excited for this one. I do think it's going to be terrible.
Yes, I expect it to be terrible. Yeah,
but I can't wait.
Okay. Also, James McAvoy in this, who always very talented. So, I
have a feeling he's about to break his streak.
Yeah, he might still be good. He could be good in a bad movie.
Maybe
it could be,
and it might be a situation where it's not a terrible movie. I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as the original. No. And I have a feeling they'll puss out on the end and ruin it.
Oh, they're going to. I'd be willing to put money down. They're going to fuck up the end.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, Beetlejuice. Screw the both of you. I'm looking forward to this movie, and I can't wait to see it. It's coming out September 6th. It'll be in theaters, and I kind of want to go to the theater to see this one. I wonder, honestly, I like the Halloween Kills experience. That was the pandemic one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was that the one that dropped in theaters and on streaming, or just on streaming? It was both, right?
It was in theaters and on streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I chose to watch it at home. And you know what, man? It really was a really nice experience because you're used to seeing those big titles in theaters, the ones you can't wait to see. And it was kind of nice to sit with a blanket and turn all the lights off and get yourself a nice snack and a couple drinks, and you got the dog laying near you. It was just really nice and comfortable. I wonder if this will go to streaming. It doesn't say anything here, so I doubt it. But that, Beetlejuice kind of has that feel that would be a nice watch for that too. I don't know. Either way, if it's not, I'm going to theaters to see this. I cannot wait for Beetlejuice.
I will probably sit this one out. Yeah.
You're going to sit it out?
Probably.
You went to see fucking Night Swim in theaters and you're going to sit out Beetlejuice?
Yep.
It's no Speak No Evil, Mikey.
Jesus Christ, Rob.
I would, based on what I know about this Beetlejuice movie, I would venture to guess Night Swim will probably be higher on my year-end list.
You're an animal. You're a monster. You're literally a monster. You live under beds.
It doesn't look good. I've seen a trailer for it. It doesn't look good. It looks dumb.
I hate you so much.
The good thing about the Halloween Kills experience was I saw that movie in theaters the Thursday that it came out. And then I was able to watch it the next night at home on streaming, and I did appreciate that. That was nice.
Dude, I really did like that shit, though. That was nice to be able to because it still had that excitement of, holy shit, I can't wait to see this. But it's like, damn, dude, I'm chilling at home and getting to watch. It's kind of nice, too. I don't know. It was just maybe because it was different and new at the time. So, that could be. Oh, I do see something. That was the last thing for this list, but I do see something else. That an article that Soxy, the new Sox movie, will be a quote angry film with quote something new to say.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Rob, does that make you look forward to it anymore?
No.
I'm a little bit I don't mind that in concept, but I do worry a little bit because the last time that they said that a Saw movie had something new to say, it was the Spiral from the Book of Saw. And what they were saying is that police corruption is bad, which was very much the title premise of all the other Saw movies. So I'm a little bit worried. If it's that police brutality is bad, I'm going to lose my mind about Soxy.
Ooh. It's also saying, okay. I thought it was good because it says the article starts, if it's Halloween, it must be Saw. Unfortunately, the franchise isn't returning to theaters this coming Halloween season, but it's because it's coming out in 2025. I thought it was going to go straight to streaming. I was like, there's no fucking way.
No, I got
a lot of money. Yeah, that's crazy. That strike, man. Good Lord. Affected a lot of things. But yeah, so Rob doesn't affect it at all for you.
No, it's gonna be another Saw movie. Maybe we'll get to see John Kramer adopt that little boy and
honestly
take him out for ice cream.
What if it is him going down and filling out the paperwork, and then like someone at the agency does something to him, and that's the plot. Like he has to get them now.
No, that would be almost understandable. What's going to happen is he's going to adopt a little boy. They're going to go out for ice cream. The little boy's going to order 2 scoops of ice cream, but he's only going to really get 1 3/4. So John's going to torture that person and their entire family.
Hey, Rob. He's scamming children. We support John Kramer on this show.
I don't know if we do. I mean, I do a lot of times, but we as a group, Rob kind of stands in the way on that one. All right. Do I have to hit my damn button?
Yes, please.
Crazy genius! Get the fuck out of here! You! Go ahead, go back to turning tricks and old folk and you pain in the ass!
It's the Gabagooli Mystery Corner. This is where our listeners anonymously send in Gabagooli Mystery, Italian memes making fun of me for being Italian. There's no hard Italian here. Don't look for them. They're just buttholes. The memes go up on Patreon. I do my best to explain them on the show. I have to mentally, I like woosah for this every time. Oh, okay, there's a lot going on here. Hold on, wait a minute now. Picked a Cutwater night to give me a detailed meme, Kat. You did this on purpose.
Dialogue and shit.
Yeah, this one's fancy.
This looks like a Pride meme too. Okay, so I can kind of go.
Yeah, we have another Pride meme.
Did this come in because you requested after last week like that? Did this come in because of that, or did you have this one already?
I actually had another one that I pushed so that we could send this one in. The listeners really came through. I got a lot of Italian Pride memes.
So we're good for next year on this then.
Yeah, we're good for next year on
dope,
Pride.
Great. Awesome. That's just what I want to hear. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh. So this one, it's like it's a 2-parter, and it's got like the air bubbles coming up from 2 different characters here. And one of them, it looks like 2 girls that share rooms, and they have like the beds, like the twin beds next to each other, kind of like Lucy and what's his name from I Love Lucy and Ricky. And it says, "So are you like gay or something?" Says the girl on one bed, and the other girl on the other bed, who looks to be putting something up on a wall, says, "What?" ? And then the girl on the bed from the first air bubble says, "What pride flag is that?" And then the next panel is just the girl hanging stuff on the wall, sitting in front of an Italian flag, very confused. What? How? Like, since when did the Italian flag become questioned for a pride flag? Why?
Because Italians aren't proud enough of Gabagooli Mystery Corner.
Yep.
No, we hate it.
Do you?
Yeah. I'll have you know. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I hope this isn't a struggle. I got a message from someone I haven't talked to in a while. And okay.
I love where this is going.
It was at 9:42 in the morning on what I believe was the episode, the day the episode came out. So Thursday, 9:42 in the morning. And it was an Italian meme, which for some reason isn't there anymore. And they said, "I got in my car today and your show started playing. I haven't listened in a while." And that's all I got. Why?
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're coming back into the fold, you know?
Oh, yeah. Greg, what a wonderful way to fucking do it. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It's outreach, Mikey. That's what it is. We're bringing new people in.
Yeah.
To celebrate you. It's beautiful.
We're making a safe place for Italian Americans.
No, it's not. That's the problem. No, it's not. It's harmful here for us. We're endangered species here. We're like a poor little, like, I forget the name of those dinosaurs just trying to go around eating leaves, man, not fucking with nobody. You guys are T-Rexes that just come around with your mean memes and just throw them at us. It's messed up.
Did we talk about this last week? I was rewatching The Exorcist, and there's that scene where Father Karras has to go back to New York, and he's in like the Italian district of New York, and there's a bunch of graffiti on the apartment building, and the thing that like sticks out is it just says Mikey. and I was gonna screen cap it, and I forgot, which sucks because I rented it.
Mikey was here.
I hate you so much. You know, it's funny. Speaking of Pride memes and stuff.
Yeah.
It really has nothing to do with memes, but it became a meme. Dead by Daylight had their Pride event for, I think it was this last week. I forget what day, but they had like a big, live stream or whatever for it. And it was an awesome live stream. So every year they give out like a bunch of charms and stuff that you can wear and everything in game. And they give out a bunch of codes where you can redeem them for these charms for free. And there's like a ton of codes for all different Pride charms. And this one dude who's like a very popular like news outlet for the game, but also shit poster. So you really don't know what's real and what's not. And he put out a thing where it was like an image on Twitter and it's like 500,000 blood points redeemed for this code only today. Act fast. And it was a code for one of the Pride charms and people were pissed. So like it was really funny seeing all like the homophobic assholes that got tricked. They were not happy at all. It's like, that's what you get, bro.
Yeah.
So now all these dickheads got tricked into downloading these Pride charms, and I found that shit hilarious. Dude's doing God's work.
Yeah. There's also speaking of Dead by Daylight, new Nick Cage skin available right now. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, there is.
It's horrible.
It's great. It's Nick Cage.
He looks like a swinger who like used to be heavy into like the swinging game, and he got out of it, and like now he's trying to get back into it decades later. It looks horrible.
Yeah, he looks awesome. Yeah. No, it's cool. I've downloaded it. You can see me playing.
How much was that? Do you remember?
Like whatever the normal $10 or whatever it is.
God damn, you pay $10 for that, man?
Worth it.
You've put like $50 into Nick Cage stuff on Dead by Daylight by now, at least, right?
Yeah.
How they get you. All right, so that's the end of the news, the end of the gabagool crap. We're going to take a really quick break, and we will be back with week 3 of Murder by Numbers. I almost called it Murder Madness, where we're ranking the Texas Chainsaw.
We are not going back to that shit.
Fuck no, we are not. Actually, hold on. This is warranted for that shit. No. Yeah. We're going to be ranking Texas Chainsaw Franchise BRB. Yeah, this second can was a questionable idea at best. What was that award, Rob?
Oh, the interesting decision.
Yeah, interesting decision. Yeah,
this was an interesting decision. We don't know if it's necessarily a bad decision yet, but it's an interesting one now. Okay, this is Cat's Pick. We all also, for anyone who didn't hear, I forget when we mentioned it, but we said it before. We all picked franchises for Murder by Numbers this year, and this one was Cat's Pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've stated that I'll never forgive her for making me watch all these movies so closely together. This is like this rivals when you made us watch Saw out of the rip, Cat.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm this.
Just as proud of myself now as I'm more proud of myself now because the Saw thing was kind of a miscommunication. That one was almost an accident on my part. This one I meant, and I still mean.
I've been doing this whole thing under protest because you guys vetoed my first pick.
We're not going to do. God, I forgot the name of the damn thing. Margarita in a can.
It's called Twilight. The Twilight Saga. There it is, Mikey.
Yeah, isn't there like 3 movies to that?
There's 5.
4.
Oh, there's 5.
4.
I thought there were 5.
Right? Oh, there are 5, huh?
Because they split the last one into 2.
I knew that they split the last one into 2. I, for whatever reason, just blocked out the 4th book.
Oh.
So I thought they like broke up 3 books into 4 movies, but no, Breaking Dawn was a book.
God damn.
Also.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, we're not even talking about that anymore, let alone doing the damn franchise. Stop bringing up Twilight.
I want to make sure everybody knows. We got to get all the facts out there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I will start, and just for a reminder, next week we are ranking these. We're throwing our rankings into a blender, into a horror movie blender with
a mathematical blender.
Yeah.
A horror blender. We'll just keep it at that. With the Scream franchise and the Child's Play franchise, along with this Texas Chainsaw franchise ranking, and we're going to come up with one. So super interesting shit. You're not going to want to miss that. But anyway, so I'll start us off, and my number 9 for the worst of the Texas Chainsaw franchise is Leatherface. Everyone thought it would probably be TCM 2022. And when I started this, I had a couple of movies in place of where I thought they were going to be. Some of them moved, some of them didn't. TCM 2022 started at the bottom. And damn it, man, Leatherface 2017 was fucking bad. This movie was awful. It was horrible. It was about Leatherface as a teenager. Like, anybody give a shit about that? And I don't know why the fuck they made this movie. I don't know if I've ever watched this movie before. I don't remember it. This is like the second prequel in the damn franchise. And I feel like the most I remember of this movie was seeing the trailer and thinking this is going to be absolute dog shit, and hearing what it was and thinking, why would anybody want to see that? I know I don't. And I don't think I ever watched it. This is probably a first watch for me. This movie's borderline unwatchable. It was really bad. And it was easily worse than TCM 2022 for me. That's it. The story was all over the place. Like, it wasn't even like they were trying to tell a new story and it didn't work. Like, this thing made there was no continuity here whatsoever. Callbacks were basically non-existent to an iconic franchise. I don't know how you missed the boat on that. This movie sucked so bad. And this is the one cat that pissed me off more than any of them.
Wow.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it.
We sure will.
Yep. It'll come up at least 2 more times, as a matter of fact.
It should be sooner than later, I would hope, for the both of your list's sake. It's horrible.
This is my new favorite Texas Chainsaw.
My number 9 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which is the other prequel to this franchise. This is the prequel to the remake, which feels like just more of the same bullshit from the remake. Sure. It's not interesting at all. I don't need a backstory to any of these characters. I don't care how the guy who has no legs lost his legs. I give a fuck about that guy. It was super boring and I hated it. And it's the remake, but worse.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will not be taking any questions.
Your TED Talk is bullshit. Okay. Wow. Kat, what about you?
My number 9 movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022.
Okay, Kat stood firm.
Yeah.
I stood firm. Here's the thing. Because I hadn't seen a lot of these in a long time. I had seen this one in 2022 and it felt very fresh in my mind, right? Because I had a lot of very vivid complaints about it. And if you want to hear those complaints, really, they haven't changed that much since I saw it and we did the episode on it. I came into that episode hot, having just seen it, like angry and worked up, because I had my hopes up and they let me down. And one thing that I really, really wanted out of my entire franchise rewatch, especially, and like the more Texas Chainsaw movies that I watched and had new opinions about and formed strong memories with this last week, the more of these I went through, the more determined I was to reevaluate with an open mind how I really felt about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. And I went in and I got there and I was like, maybe the rewatch is going to get me. Maybe Greg was right. I really hate this movie. I hate it a lot.
She said maybe Greg was right.
Maybe Greg was right. You know, we have that whole like broken clock thing. Greg and I agree about some hot takes. I thought maybe I could come around. But I don't like this movie. I think, and we've talked about this before on other movies. Usually it's standalone movies, but usually it's not the 9th movie in a franchise. But the thing that bothers me more than any other movie sin is wasted potential. And they tried so many different things. We were in an era of like this requel thing and it should have worked. And they were going to redeem Sally Hardesty. And I saw the trailer and I believed that. And they let her down. They did her dirty more than the original, which is crazy because she's one of the final girls that I think had kind of a rough go of it in the original, and they made it worse. And they introduced a bunch of like, I feel like a crazy old grumpy Republican man when I'm like, it's too woke. But they did try to introduce like these weird like political hot button issues, where they're like, there's a gun shooting survivor and a Confederate flag sets off the whole thing, but it's just the old lady thinking about her grandpaps. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. This is so bad. And like, it doesn't even commit to a stance on any of those things, which is worse. I honestly would have rather them just like leaned into it and been like, the Confederate flag isn't that bad. Because at least that would have been a take. It wouldn't have been a take I agree with, but I would have respected that they're like, respecting the opinion of Texans, I guess, and because even the old lady doesn't believe in the flag, like it's just a non-issue. And like even the gun survivor, the shooting kid with all the trauma is like, but maybe guns are okay sometimes. And it's like, I beg anyone in this movie to have any kind of opinion about anything at all, or don't bring it up if you're not gonna, because I don't watch these movies for political stances. Like they could have just not brought it up. I never would have thought about it. And my other thing, and I talk about this a lot in the episode too, the entire premise of this movie hinges on me believing that a chef and a social media influencer are needed parts of a bank to sell foreclosed property. And I just don't understand why they own this town to begin with. It's bad. I hate it. I hate it so much. Thanks for coming to my TED.
How do you feel, Kat?
I feel better.
Okay, good.
I tried though. I want it on the record. I really tried with this one, and it let me down again.
All right.
I hate it.
All right. Well, I can piggyback a little bit.
Thank you.
TCM 2022 is my number 8. The movie sucks, man. Everything Kat said is right. The movie sucks. I don't think this won't be the last time I bring this up probably, but Leatherface and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise in general is just not something you can change the fucking scenery of. Like Jason X worked. Jason Takes Manhattan, feel how you want to feel about it. It has iconic scenes. Like a lot of people do like that movie. Like that different change of scenery worked. Freddy has moved around and it worked. Myers even, like it just, there's certain characters you could do. Most characters you can do that with. Understood. Leprechaun too. Like the list goes on. Texas Chainsaw was great because, partly because of Leatherface, but it was mostly that vibe and that feel and that grittiness that you got from the movie of the original. And you just can't do that on a goddamn party bus or anything like that. You just stop trying to do it. You're literally taking away everything that made the movie great. And every time they move away from that, the worse the movie gets. And this movie sucked.
All right.
And
number 8.
I agree. The atmosphere is like kind of a character in the Texas Chainsaw franchise. Like even the bad movies have some kind of ode to that atmosphere, except for this one. And it just, it drives me crazy. And also, like, I laughed so hard when Leatherface popped out of the sunflowers. It gets me every time.
So stupid looking.
And
so
like,
bad.
there are moments, I'm going to defend a lot of these movies because they made me laugh. But like, once you start bringing like messages and they tried to do that whole like elevated horror nonsense with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, when you miss the mark on that, it's harder to like laugh at it in a fun and satisfying way.
We'll keep this train rolling. My number 8 is also Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022.
Hell of a deal.
And pretty much for all the reasons you guys have said. There are, I will give credit to the bus massacre. I do like that.
No.
And I will give credit to the hilarious Tesla thing at the end. That's it, though. Everything else about this movie sucks. The biggest sin it creates is the way that it brings Sally Hardesty back for no fucking reason at all.
We talked about that before we started recording. We were bullshitting about that. Yeah.
She just does nothing in this movie at all.
Hey,
yeah, it's a bad
garbage
movie.
Isn't nothing. All right.
Yeah, it's just a bad movie, and I do not like it. And yeah, if you want more on our feelings on that movie, you can go listen to the episode that we did about it.
or don't. I don't blame you if you don't. That movie sucked. Although, if like a lot of people, I don't know, like it's a mixed bag. But I know some people don't like listening to like echoed opinions on something. Mm-hmm. We had Darth Gregor on that show who loves that movie. So go ahead and listen. If you want to hear some bullshit, you go listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it, Kat? The Bulgarian Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, the Bulgarian Chainsaw Massacre.
That was incredible. He really didn't like. There's certain things like Greg doesn't give a fuck about a lot of things, but you could tell when something really annoys him. He did not like that shit. All right, my number 7.
Oh,
Kat's got to give her number 8.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kat. We were on such a roll with the 2022 thing.
We were on such a roll with this one, but I got on that train a little bit early. So I said that I feel really sure about my rankings. I feel more confident in these rankings than I do for the other franchises. Mm-hmm. This was the hardest spot for me to assign. My 7 and 8 were the closest of the two.
Okay.
I feel pretty solidly about where they landed. My number 8 is Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
What? All right.
There were 2 redeeming qualities of this movie. But they didn't redeem it enough. And I want to shout them out because I had forgotten Viggo Mortensen was in this one. Mm-hmm. I love seeing him and stuff. It was a blast to see him in this. Favorite part of the movie. And then my second favorite part of the movie was when he showed back up again. I also think it's worth shouting out Benny, I think, is one of the strongest written characters in any Texas Chainsaw Massacre film ever.
Is that Ken Foree?
Yes.
Okay.
He deserves like a huge shout out because I was obsessed with his character. If the movie had followed him, it might legitimately be my favorite in the franchise. Unfortunately, they just kind of have him hanging out in the middle of, I would almost describe this as like a Texas Chainsaw remake in itself. Like it follows a lot of the same arcs. Mm-hmm. It captures a lot of the same shots, but it takes them like 40 minutes to get there. And that's a rough 40 minutes. There's a lot of shots of like Roadkill being mercy killed. Yeah. And like these 2 characters whose names I remember Benny's name. I don't remember the 2 main characters' names in this film. And there's supposed to be like a couple that I'm theoretically invested in, but I'm not. And it's 20 minutes with them and then 20 minutes in the forest with the other like wild refugee that's been living in the woods for a week. My other film, I feel like, was as bad a quality of this one, but this one took no chances whatsoever. And that really ultimately hurt it. Like, I don't think there's anything in this one except Viggo Mortensen that you couldn't get in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre a lot better.
Yeah, you mentioned the roadkill. After watching this franchise, I realized there is not an armadillo in the state of Texas that is alive. They're all dead on the side of the road.
That's fair. All right. My number 7 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D from 2013. I'm not gonna lie, man. This one almost was number 8. Like TCM 2022 came very close to being bumped up one more spot. Like this movie sucked. The only good thing about this movie, is Bill Moseley returning to the franchise, which was really cool. I wish he had a bigger role, but he didn't. But it was still cool to see him here. It's always great to see Bill Moseley because he's amazing in everything he does.
Yeah, but he's barely in this thing. I mean, it's
right.
Yeah.
Maybe if he was a main character, it might have helped a little, but this movie sucked. Not only did it suck, it was boring. Other than the opening with Bill Moseley with that police standoff outside, which is an interesting concept. But other than that, there was 37 minutes into this movie before we got anything.
Yeah.
Anything of horror substance. Almost 40 minutes into a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And I understand the original was a bit of a slow burn, but you did get big moments here and there, early on and throughout, sprinkled. This had bullshit, man. Like it was fucking nothing. And the Leatherface himself was awful. It was terrible. Yeah. Why he had that red shirt on was so idiotic. He looked like the dad from Roseanne. Like it was terrible. I didn't like the carnival thing. This is kind of what I noted with TCM 2022. Stop trying to bring Leatherface in different areas. It doesn't work. Works with Jason. It can work with Freddy. It doesn't work with Leatherface. Stop trying to do it. It was so dumb. It did have the Amanda scenes with Amanda from Saw, which was like, in 2013.
Yeah.
Kind of prominent, I guess. But I don't give a shit. Stop doing stuff like that. This movie really sucked. Like, really bad. The whole final girl being a Hewitt in the no.
Yeah. Mikey, my number 7 is also Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah, deal.
And it's funny to point this out, I guess, but my number 8 was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, which is a direct sequel to the original film. Texas Chainsaw 3D is also a direct sequel to the original film.
Yeah.
I think that this movie, I don't hate the idea, like the premise of the film, I think is fine. But man, is the execution just absolute dog shit. Like, it's so bad. And the script gets so fucking dumb. Do your thing, cuz. I mean, come on. The fuck are we doing here? This is Leatherface. It's just so stupid. And we talked about it on the Patreon show, I think, or who the fuck we were chatting and whatever. But man, they worked really hard not to get one of those titties to pop out, and that was really disappointing. Yeah, there's just nothing good in this movie. I didn't like any of these characters. And it's unfortunate because I do think that it was an interesting premise for a film, but the script was just so bad that I just didn't give a fuck about it.
So my number 7, it's a little bit hard to talk about why I defend this one over 3, because it is Leatherface. I think that because I think what I appreciate about it was the direction that it went from where we were at in the franchise at that time, and I haven't talked about that yet. But we were at a precarious point in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. It was not going well. And we had done a prequel before, and this is often the worst of the prequels, in my opinion. But what I like about it over 3, even though 3 had Viggo Mortensen, is that it took a lot of chances. This was something we talked about with my Child's Play rankings as well. If 2 movies are of a similar quality, I do think I'm going to kind of favor the one that took a big swing and missed over the one that didn't really take any chances whatsoever. Leatherface messes up in a big way in so many points that are really confounding to me. There's a Bonnie and Clyde arc, which I find really confounding. Bud, I think his name is, also is like kind of a fake out like Jed, which was weird. And then there's a weird arc where he kind of like is antagonistic to the nurse that he had been defending, and like there are a lot of very questionable choices. You could pick apart this movie all day, every day for a long time and not run out of complaints. But I like that because the movie before this, the way that this specific Texas Chainsaw Massacre timeline is going, it has set up a dynamic where the Sawyers are almost sympathetic characters. So I think, which I don't agree with that or disagree with that, but that was the point that they were in going into Leatherface. So I think it was really interesting to kind of rebalance that. Like, yeah, you can be sympathetic for them. There are other villains in the town. This is how we got here. But at the end of the day, Leatherface is a bad, scary guy. Like I feel like this was kind of leading us back into that Leatherface bad genre of Texas Chainsaw, which I don't disagree with in concept. I also think the special effects were pretty good in this one. There was a lot of blood, which for 2017, I think was when this one came out. Yeah. That was par for the course. I think they went above and beyond with the effects. I really like the shot at the end of him holding up the mask. That's one of my favorite Leatherface mask shots. It's not really enough to outweigh the bad of this movie, but they sure did try. It's
interesting to me that you talk about them making Leatherface or the Sawyer family sympathetic. I agree with you about the family. aspect, but I find Leatherface kind of a sympathetic character from the jump. I mean, even in the first movie, he's this mentally challenged guy who happens to be a giant that his horrible family has turned into a monster.
I will say, I think Leatherface specifically is sympathetic from the beginning and throughout the franchise. And some of my favorite Texas Chainsaws are the ones where he's most sympathetic. But yeah, I do think that they kind of geared the entire family toward, because the Hewitts are so over the top evil in this timeline that it makes the entire Sawyer family seem kind of sane in comparison. Which I think they should be the evil ones manipulating Leatherface.
Right. Which is what they start out. I mean, that's how they are in the beginning, right? I mean, the very first movie, the family is fucking terrible.
And this one kind of gets us back to that, right? Like which I appreciated.
All right.
My number 6, I have a note here because this movie, my throat. This movie was not good. The majority of these movies are not good. So, you know, their ranking on this list only says but so much. But this movie is not good. And it almost took my number 7 spot. And my number 7 spot almost took my number 8 spot. So, you know, you can do the math from there. But I noted this in between 6 and 7. A story that is not about Leatherface. And, you know, obviously we watch Texas Chainsaw, we want Leatherface. I get it. But if the story and the point of the movie and the plot of the movie is about the family and there's not much Leatherface in it, I get it. But that is still can be better to me if it's done properly than a bad movie about a bad Leatherface. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If the Leatherface is horrible, I don't want to see that motherfucker in the movie. So it's not saying this Leatherface was good, but it's the Texas Chainsaw 4, The Next Generation, is my number 6 from 1995. This movie was terrible. It was not good. The Leatherface in it was arguably the worst Leatherface in the whole franchise. He did nothing but stand there and scream. He was basically a bird. All right.
Yeah.
That's basically what he was. He had a mullet. He was wearing leggings. That is not the look I want from my Leatherface. It's not scary. It's not intimidating. He did nothing in this movie. He was a bird with a chainsaw, and that was it. But like Matthew McConaughey gets a lot of bullshit. He was not the worst part of this movie. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Was his character great? No. The movie was awful. But I think for what he had to do, what that character was supposed to be, I think he did really well, man. And I think that story of him and, you know, this girl trying to get out, and then he's got his girlfriend in there, and, you know, all that bullshit, it at least made me pay attention. And that's more than I can say for, you know, most of the movies on this list. So that's what ranked it a little bit higher than 7 and, than 3D and 2022. Also, this movie had a goddamn cattle prod.
It did. I noticed that too.
I can't believe Mr. Cat's boyfriend missed the one with the cattle prod.
I am so upset about that.
If he had come in one earlier.
And I'll tell you what, that was the most joy I've gotten from this whole watching experience of all these movies was that's a fucking cattle prod. And that's how you act when you have a cattle prod. You just poke the shit at, right?
Yep. Just poking people. Hell yeah.
Just bop, bop, bop. So Mr. Cat's boyfriend guy, when you do eventually get through this franchise, just know that's what's coming your way for the Friday the 13th Part 3 shit. Just so you know.
We'll be talking about this one
right
again, but I do want to say off the bat, I do agree with you. This is hands down the worst Leatherface in the movie.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
By a long shot.
Horrible.
It's rough. It's bad.
Yeah.
Including Leatherface, including the teenage one.
I don't know about that. But debatable. You're right. I mean, it's close. It's real close.
Because you're right. And the bird.
It's a bird.
It's so apt because he doesn't do shit.
When she got up to leave from the table scene, all he did was stand up and scream.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. And she told him to shut the fuck up and sit down, and he did it. Like, but at least they didn't focus on him. You know, like it wasn't about him. which I don't like, sure, but that's what the movie was, and we have to judge what the movie was. And I think the story of the family was interesting enough to push it past at least 3D in 2022 for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's number 6.
All right. My number 6 is Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Okay.
We hear a lot about the star power of Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey in 4, but let's not forget Ken Foree and Viggo Mortensen in 3. Coming into this, this would have been number 3 on my rankings before rewatching them. On the rewatch, this movie was kind of painful to get through.
Yeah.
It moves pretty. The pacing is bad, I think. We don't get to the house for a really, really long fucking time.
No.
There's an interesting thing that happens in this movie, though, that I actually kind of like, and that is that for the most part, the family, they're friendly to one another. Like,
that is nice.
Because in all the other movies, the family's yelling at each other and hitting each other with shit and calling each other names and stuff. And in this one, for the most part, they're pretty friendly to one another. And I also think it plays creepier.
Yeah.
For some reason. Like they're being nice to one another. Like the one, guy gets Leatherface a gift and stuff. And they're talking about the last time he got him a gift and all that. It's weird for this franchise, but I do think it plays as creepier, especially because we see a lot of times in these movies when the family starts arguing and screaming and fighting with each other, that's when the victim makes the escape, right?
Right.
That doesn't really happen in this movie. But yeah, for the most part, I coming into this franchise ranking, I expected this one to be much higher, but it's just really on a rewatch, it's just not that good. So yeah, it's number 6 for me.
Here, I think, is my second hot take of the evening. And it actually has nothing to do with my ranking order, but I do want to just shout out, we have gotten through the 3 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies that I won't defend. Moving forward, I like the other 6 of these films. I had a great time.
Damn, you like 6 of these movies, Kat?
I like 6 of these movies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and even like these next few I know are bad, but I just had a good time with them anyway. Like I'll go to bat for them. And that's my hottest Texas Chainsaw take. 6 out of 9 are pretty good. That being said, number 6 is Texas Chainsaw The Beginning. This one was a little bit rough at times. I was watching with my partner who did not like this one. But I'm kind of a sucker for those like early 2000s over the top gory films, and this one just, I know it's supposed to take place like in the 1960s, but it's one of the most 2000s films I've ever seen in my entire life, including those really, really super low rise jeans.
Yeah, but it doesn't have Creed in it, Kat.
That's true. I had a fun time with it. I think it's a little bit dumb to have a prequel set right here because, and like Rob was saying, we get to watch the legs get blown off of that guy, but we don't really care about that guy. The thing is that I feel like it was very difficult to put a prequel in this particular time because like one thing that we loved that people were talking about and excited about was how Leatherface loses an arm in, the 2003 remake. And, but then it made it really hard, I think, to have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in the remake timeline. So then they kind of had to do a prequel. And then it's like, well, what can we do that's going to top that? And apparently the answer was show us how that man loses his legs, which I don't think was nearly as satisfying. But he was kind of a jerk in this movie, so it wasn't the worst thing ever to see him lose his legs. There's like kind of and the sheriff, like I don't really care that much about the sheriff as a character in this timeline, but I was kind of curious how a man like that got to be sheriff, and the answer, he just killed the only remaining sheriff in the town, I thought was a hilarious answer.
And there was apparently no one else. They're the only people in town because no one else asked any questions about how'd you become sheriff.
Yeah, nobody else asked, which I just think is objectively silly. I love it.
That's typically an elected position, right? Like you vote for sheriff, like somebody be like, you didn't fucking win anything. What are you doing?
It's bad when a small town gets a sheriff. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. So my assumption is that family is the entire population of the town. That's the only way it makes sense.
Because they're having like an everyone abandoning town arc, and they just really committed to it by making that man the sheriff.
Yeah, everyone left town. Everyone left town.
The other thing that I really love about this one, I think it's dumb, but they have an entire subplot about the draft dodge.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's incredibly dumb, and I was not invested in it, but I think it's hilarious that they were like that out of all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, they were like, this one is the one. We are going to give these characters a subplot if it kills us. And they have these like really long lingering shots where the brothers are making intense eye contact with each other about the war.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I loved it. It was terrible.
Yeah. Everything that Kat just said is the reason why it's the worst movie in this franchise, in my opinion.
You're crazy, Rob.
It's a bad movie, and it's completely not needed. We just had a remake, and now you want to give me a prequel to a remake? Get the fuck out of here.
But the remake we had was awful. So who cares?
Stupid. I thought you liked the remake.
But look, again, the rankings of these movies is very based on within this franchise. Was it good? Was it okay? Sure. You put it up against other remakes, though. See where it ranks. Like we're ranking within this franchise.
We don't need a prequel to a remake, is what I'm saying. That's fucking stupid.
We didn't need any of these movies other than the first two. Like we really didn't. We didn't even need the second one. Honestly, honestly, and I haven't mentioned the second one yet. So obviously, I think more highly of it than these movies. But did we need it? No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about it. What are we at? Number 5, right? Okay.
Yeah.
My number 5 is, and I can't fucking believe this movie made it this high. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, 1990. Honestly, Ken Foray, he was this movie for me.
He's like the best part. He's so good.
By far. The Leatherface in this movie, I couldn't tell if I liked him. And I use the word like, not loved, infatuated, none of those. Liked. I couldn't tell if I liked him or despised him throughout this movie. Like, there were moments where I was like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. And then I would see him again and be like, what the fuck? It's horrible. I guess it was a mid-Leatherface, a low-tier mid-Leatherface, which for this franchise really isn't that bad. So, I can live with that. But it was just, honestly, it was Ken Foray. Like, it had a story I could follow, which you can't say for all these movies, and my biggest problem, honestly, throughout with this movie is a lot of the gore throughout the film was off screen. You did get a little bit of it, towards the later part of the movie, but before that, a lot of it was off screen. After the second movie that we got, this is directly after Texas Chainsaw 2, which was a very good movie. Great movie, even. This is the next one, so it's following that. That's rough.
I was bothered also by when I was watching part 3, trying to figure out who these people were and how Leatherface got from Dallas to living with them wherever it was that they lived. Like, how did they tie into the family? Why was he living there? Like, there was a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, there were. And the family members look like too normal, too clean.
Except for that one guy with that fucking eye.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know if he was part of the family or if he was just a family friend. I don't know who the fuck that guy was supposed to be.
I don't know. But honestly, this one, I struggled a little bit with. Part 4 almost went over this one. Not gonna lie. But I just couldn't end up to it didn't have a Leatherface really. It had a bird. Texas Chainsaw 4. So I couldn't, with good faith, put it above TCM 3. Which, it had a pretty decent story, man. Like, I could follow it. And a lot of these other movies, I was very confused. So I wasn't even that mad at the story wise of it. And the Leatherface was tolerable. So it somehow earned the 5th spot of a 9-spot ranking. Here we are.
Good for it. Good for it.
It swam its little ass off and got there, man.
We are at exactly the halfway point. That is movie number 5. Before rewatching these films, if you had asked me, I would have told you this was the worst in the franchise. I'm talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Okay.
Mikey's right. It has the absolute worst Leatherface ever. I don't know. If you challenge someone to make a worse Leatherface, I don't know that they could do it.
No fucking way.
Bill Skarsgård.
No, he'd be better. He'd just have to be. There's no way, dude. This guy was a bird.
It is really, really bad. But this movie gets here solely on the strength and the joy that I got from Matthew McConaughey's performance. He is fucking unhinged in this movie. And I was totally here for. I hadn't seen this thing since it was released on VHS. That's how long it's been since I watched this movie. I hated it so much that I just never even bothered to return to it. After watching it earlier, I was like, this movie, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's fucking fun. Matthew McConaughey is just doing the fucking most in this movie.
Why does he get so much hate, Rob, for this role?
I don't know. He hates the movie. I mean,
I don't blame him for hating the movie now.
But I mean, when I believe it was Scream Factory released it on DVD or Blu-ray, he and Renee Zellweger both filed an injunction to get their pictures taken off the box art.
God damn.
For the movie, and I think Scream Factory finally did remove them from it.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it seems like it's the kind of thing where if like you asked him in an interview about this movie, he would punch you. Like he just really doesn't like it. And I don't know why, because this is fucking fantastic work that he puts in. Yeah, it's a stupid fucking movie. But
he should be proud of that performance, though. You're right.
Yeah, but he fucking sells out 100% for the performance. And he's great. Now, we do go back to the yelling and screaming family dynamic that we had left behind in part 3.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like most about this movie is that the guy in the limousine that shows up.
Yeah.
That really fucking ruined the whole thing for me. Because she
gets in the limousine at the end, man, and she's shocked. Like, what the fuck do you think was in there?
This was poised to be like top 3 for a long time as I was watching it. I was like, this movie is fucking fun. But then that started happening. I was like, all right, this is kind of dumb. And also, this franchise really wants you to think that anyone who wears a leg brace is frightening.
It had a pool hose.
Because he had a leg brace, but Leatherface had a leg brace on in part 3. So it's like, if you wear a leg brace, look out.
Look out.
That gets to the halfway point in the franchise for me. And it was close to being much higher.
There were so many question marks in this. Another thing I noted too, and this is for the whole franchise, not even so much, but it's most visible in this movie. You know the trope of like you get in a car in a horror movie and it won't start for no reason at all? This franchise stood so far away from that. The car starts every fucking time, but goddamn, the dumbest shit will happen once the car starts driving. The hood just opened. Why? How? She was free, dude. She was gone in a beautiful Cadillac, nothing to go wrong, brand new, and the hood just opens. I was like, damn, man.
Also worth pointing out about The Next Generation before we move on to Cats number 5. Is this the only one where there's titties?
There were titties in here. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if it's the only one, but yeah, there's.
I think it's the only one.
I think the most titties at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know that we see them in any other one. I can't think of it. I think it's the only one, but anyway, just,
the titties.
Worth pointing out. Certainly isn't Texas Chainsaw 3D. I'll tell you that.
It's not Texas Chainsaw 3D.
All right, Kat, what do you got at number 5?
At number 5, I have Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Cavalor. What was her middle name, Rob?
I don't remember.
Whatever it is, Cavalor. Damn.
That's too high, Kat.
So here's the thing. It's not.
I gotta hear the thing.
I'm positive about these rankings. I really. There were a couple that I remember just hating with a passion. 3 that I remember specifically why I hated them and that I did. One was Texas Chainsaw 2022. One was Texas Chainsaw 3D. And on the rewatch, I don't know if it was the magic of lowered expectations or what happened. I had a blast with this. I really, really enjoyed. First of all, because I had really appreciated the concept of telling like a narrative in a Texas Chainsaw film, like with the beginning, it had a subplot. I really liked the idea of them having a subplot for this and getting to know one character really well that you empathize with and feel sorry for. They did a lot of things that really interested me because you just don't see them that often in horror movies, especially in Texas Chainsaw movies. I really liked the dynamic early in with the main character and her friend because she seemed really supportive and like a best friend, and then there's like that drama where she's seducing the boyfriend, and I was like, oh no, that's going to be a whole thing. But it wasn't a whole thing because like when it came down to it, it was like, I don't care why you're wearing my boyfriend's shirt, get in the car, I'm going to save your ass. And it was an energy that I just really liked. It was very chaotic. I loved the special effects in this one. I thought they were great. And even though I think it was really dumb to have the Sawyers as a whole be sympathetic, I think one of the most like just outrageous acts of cruelty that we see depicted in the entire franchise is probably the like face stomping of the burned mother holding her child. And even though I don't like the idea that they're like, here's an entire town of people worse than the Texan cannibals, I do think that was a really effective way to kick it off, you know? And I loved the juxtaposition of the adopted family being like really kind of mean and cruel and not caring about Heather's questions and needs in comparison to her returning home to like this family that she could have had, and then all of the baggage that comes with it. As a character arc just for Heather, I think the movie works really well. It's all the other stuff that I thought was silly and outrageous. And I think this was a really interesting way to kind of turn the franchise on its, because we were talking about how that dynamic really works for Leatherface, where his family is kind of manipulating him into being a monster. And then she finds this monster in her basement and is like, oh no, it's my cousin and I can manipulate him into killing all the cops that are after us. And I like, it felt very cyclical. It got back to a core dynamic at the very end. We make a lot of fun of Do Your Thing because it's objectively ridiculous, and I think it was acted pretty poorly. But honestly, by that point in the story, I was so sick of the cops. I kind of wanted Cuz to do his thing. Like, it was kind of satisfying. I liked it. It was fun. It was a fun time.
She teams up with Leatherface. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah. I liked it.
It's real fucking
She's
stupid.
Family. He's gotta protect his family.
No,
that's his whole thing.
All that talking you did, Kat, and you didn't persuade anybody. It's a stupid fucking movie.
And Leatherface looked horrible. Like I hated it so much. I don't know. Like it's important, you know, what Leatherface looks like in a Texas Chainsaw movie. And another thing that really pissed me off about that movie was it had hold on, I lost it. It had a budget of $20 million and the kills were so weak for $20 million for a Texas Chainsaw movie, period. Like, you don't need a ton of money to be able to do that, you know, because, you know, practical effects and a lot of other things that you can get away with. But you got $20 million, man, and you're making a Texas Chainsaw movie. The kills better be fucking
well, shit.
surreal.
It probably cost half that budget to rent the goddamn mansion that somehow Grandma Sawyer got super rich and bought a fucking stupid nice house.
Also, I do really like that. It's a bad call for a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's one of the reasons why it's in the lower half of my list. But as a character study, I think it's so funny that no one has actually been to the house where Grandma Sawyer lived. And she gets into the town with all these locals that are like, oh, you're staying in that shit heap. And then she gets through the gate and it's just like a fucking mansion. Yeah. And it's like, it's very funny to me. It's an entertaining movie. I had a blast.
I mean, that from that aspect, it's funny, but also you're like, in a town that small, everybody's going to know what that fucking house looks like.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fit. Like, part of the, like Mikey's talking about the look of Leatherface, part of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing is that house, right? It's the look of the house. And this one's a goddamn mansion.
And I agree. As a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, I don't think this does really well, but it's the only one I think with a like successful character arc in it, as dumb as that is. I liked it.
I don't understand that one, Kat. That one's confusing.
You're not gonna like my next one.
Greg will agree with you.
He likes three. God, fuck.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes that movie.
So,
good job, Greg.
I hate you, Greg. All right. Margarita again. What do we have? Four, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm proud of this one. You guys, especially you, Rob, kiss my ass on this one. My number 4, top 5, number 4, right outside of the top 3, and honestly, almost made the top 3. Almost. Ooh. Very close.
Spicy.
Is Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2006 the beginning, dude? Rob, what the fuck is wrong with you on this one? This
movie's fucking terrible, dude.
It's not, dude. It was one of the few movies in this godforsaken franchise that it at least had some real characters in it, man. Like that. I know I say that, but don't ask me what too many people's names in this movie are. Like that final dude, like the one that pretended to be Dean to protect the blonde kid. They really made me think he was going to live. You know, like they built him up to where, all right, this is like, you know, the guy that accompanies the final girl throughout damn near the whole movie, if not to the end. They had the balls to do all that and build him up to be so strong, and I'm going to kill him. And you believed him, dude. And they died. And that was a powerful moment. It was like a holy shit moment to me. And I just thought it was really good, dude. Like that. And they had the balls to kill fucking everybody.
Of course they had to kill everybody. Nobody could live because we knew they weren't going to live because it's a prequel to a movie that we've already seen. And if somebody gets away, then they're going to tell the police.
They find their ways around stupid shit like that in a lot of movies. And like, I don't know, dude. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I truly do.
Terrible. I hated that movie so much.
And I hated Blondie so much, the blonde dude. And I'll tell you what, too. If I have blonde hair and a grown man ever called me Blondie, we're going to fight. I don't care if you got shotgun or not. We're throwing hands, dude. You'll call me Blondie. But he was such a little bitch throughout the whole movie, though. And he really stood up towards the end. And he gave it to the fake ass sheriff. And it was a satisfying moment. And he had the callbacks to the push-up scene where he was acting like a little bitch and he stood up and redeemed himself for that moment and, you know, all that bullshit. And I thought it was good, dude. The only knock I have on this movie, like, I mean, well, again, I mentioned how strong this franchise is. So it being 4 is, you know, take from it what you will. But my true knock on this movie was the kill of Blondie where, you know, he gutted him with that chainsaw and he's holding him up on the shit. A lot of that was off screen and it pissed me off because that if you're going to, you know, bleed all your money out on one kill like that should have been the moment. Like that could have been especially after his redeeming scene and of redemption and all that shit. And, you know, he tries to save the final girl and, you know, it comes up short and he dies and it's sad. It would have been great to really see him hanging from that chainsaw and it revving and blood going. It would have been dope, but they didn't do it. But yeah, man, I like this movie. It was a true attempt at a story and character building in a franchise that was like drowning. And I liked it.
Of all the bad movies in this franchise, that bad one is the only one that wasn't needed at all. Like completely unnecessary.
And Leatherface in that movie, I mean, he was the closest to being scary since the first film. No?
No. No.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just not a good
the
movie,
mask
dude.
Was, you know, good.
Yeah, I don't. I've looked at a lot of Leatherfaces recently. I don't fucking remember the mask in that movie.
It's crazy.
I want to real quick though. Thoughts on this franchise? You mentioned the chainsaw kill. It made me think of that. Of this. I know it's called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface best weapon isn't the chainsaw; it's the hammer, right? Those are the best kills.
Those are the best kills.
I like it when he hits somebody with that fucking hammer. It looks so goddamn vicious.
It does.
And, yeah, it just looks better. Like I get it. Texas Hammer Massacre is a shitty title, but
I will say, I think where the chainsaw really redeems itself is in the shots of Leatherface holding the chainsaw. Like, there's something very satisfying whenever he picks up a chainsaw in these movies.
There is,
It
but
looks cool.
But when he whacks somebody with a hammer, those are the coolest looking kills, I think.
Those are the best kills, though.
Yeah. My number 4 is Leatherface.
How the fuck?
The prequel to the original film.
You don't know what you're talking about. That's crazy.
Of all the films in this franchise, excluding the original, it might be the best made movie. What? I think.
He's not wrong, though.
Yes, he is.
Well, no.
After watching these movies all in a row, back to back to back to back to back, it was nice to finally see something a little different. Because a lot of these movies kind of feel like just a worse version of the movie that came before them.
But Leatherface took a swing.
And it's not a great movie, again, because there aren't very many great movies in this franchise. But it tried something. It tried to do something different. It doesn't connect all the way, but it's a well-made film, and I liked it. Like, I don't know why Mikey hated it so much. Like,
because it was awful.
I don't know where else the franchise was going to go after a certain point. Like, and I may have shot myself in the face if I had to watch another movie of them just chasing people around their fucking hillbilly house.
But
honestly,
I don't know how you could say that when we've had the conversation time after time again about Crystal Lake, the Friday the 13th TV show, and how we are not looking forward to a child Jason, and all we want is Jason. That's because I don't
know what child Jason is.
I didn't know what teenage Leatherface was either, and I really wish I still lived in a world where that existed.
No, I liked it. I think it was a good movie.
I thought it was horrible, man. It confused the shit out of me. I did not like that movie. When you say Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw, obviously, even Leatherface, but you think oh shit, I'm gonna see Leatherface in his chainsaw and he's gonna fuck shit up. You didn't get that here.
No, you get the story of how he turns into what he turns into.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You knocked that on Rob Zombie's Halloween.
It's a good movie. Yeah, but that's different. They took away the mystique of Michael, is what they did.
I can't stand you. I can't believe it. Like that movie deranked TCM. You're backwards. You did this backwards. You did something wrong. I don't know where you went wrong here, but you did something wrong. Are you sure you got the titles right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was hard for me to figure out where to place it in the franchise because it's so different. And that's why I realized, well, it's got to be kind of high because it's fucking different, at least.
How do you always manage to make me mad? I don't give a shit about this franchise.
I don't know. I don't know why you're so upset
this?
About TCM rankings.
I don't know either. But the beginning was it was really good, man. I actually liked that movie.
Movie was stupid.
Son of a bitch. I can't believe it. Another point to the beginning too, by the way. I know we moved past it and it's not coming up again. But just to Mr. Cat's boyfriend guy, one of the reasons I liked that so much was the sheriff. Like, he hated him, sure, but you do hate that motherfucker, and he makes you, and that's why I like the character so much. Like, no one in this movie in Leatherface, I didn't give a shit about anybody in that movie. And it's not like I didn't want to. Like, I was hoping finally for another good movie, Like, I watched the beginning. There was quite a few movies in between there where I was just like, God damn, man. I just couldn't care about anything in that movie. Nothing. Like, that prison scene was a mess. I don't get it, Rob.
I enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was great. I'm not saying it's a great movie. I don't even know that I'm saying it's a good movie. I'm just saying it was okay and I enjoyed it.
I can't stand you. I don't know how you made me mad on this franchise. I don't give a shit about, but fine.
Well, let's see how mad Kat can make you. What do you have at number 4, Kat?
At number 4, this is the third one that I came in hating this movie. Like, it was a contender for my bottom slot. At number 4, I have Return to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Next Gen. I
Okay.
love this movie. I love it unconditionally. It's the Jason X of the Texas Chainsaw franchise. I don't know how I made it into my adult life hating this movie because it's a masterpiece. It does have the worst Leatherface, which obviously counts against it, but I love the characters in this one. I love that there's a character that I can kind of root for in Renee Zellweger. I honestly, to the bottom of my heart, believe that this is Renee Zellweger's best performance because it's very down to earth. It doesn't feel like a caricature of something, which is crazy because she spends the whole final act just screaming. But like, there was good buildup with her, which is something that's so rare in this franchise. I really like the chaotic. We talked about this in the Patreon too, the like Nicolas Cage-esque, just over the top Matthew McConaughey performance. Honestly, this might be one of my favorite Matthew McConaughey performances also. It was it matches his energy in a way I feel like a lot of roles don't let him do, because he's a little bit creepy. And we've been talking about movies that there were only so many where they could run around, like where they could let Leatherface run around with a chainsaw. This one had like kind of an almost cult-like aspect where they're all revolving their lives around one charismatic madman. And it was enough of a different vibe for me that it just worked. It has my favorite scene, maybe in any of the entire franchise. And I can't believe I was so sad that I was not going to be the first one to talk about it because I put this movie up so high and then no one brought it up. One of my all-time favorite things that's ever happened in a horror movie is when Darla is driving back with a person in her trunk and she finds the prom girl in the middle of the road and she gets out of the car and the girl's like, "Hey, please help me." And she's like, "Okay, but I'm going to get a blanket." And she steps away. She takes one step back to the car. She looks around for a stick. She's very clearly picking up sticks, weighing them and putting them back in the ground. She picks up a stick. She comes over and like taps her gently twice with the stick. And the prom girl's like, "Please, no, stop hitting me." And she's like, "Okay." And just like drops the stick, gets in the car and leaves. And it's like, I've never laughed so hard ever in a movie.
Yeah, there was some good
so
stuff.
Dumb.
That was funny. I enjoyed that. And also the drive-through scene I enjoyed.
The drive-through scene is so funny.
Yeah.
And she's just like, she has a great rapport with the cops. The beginning of this also where she's talking about her boob job.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, "I don't know why those kids keep giving me a tough time. I keep flashing them and they don't go away." You're like, I have some ideas about like these kids and why they keep coming back every night. That being said, this is going to sound like one of my joke takes, and it's 100% not. I'm being dead serious about this. I think that the Return to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the next gen, should be one of those like renowned Pride movies because she is very clearly bisexual. And I don't know how we don't talk about it. It's one of those like with the cross-dressing and the like gender stuff. I feel like people just kind of pick out what is and is not okay. Like we don't talk about Norman Bates cross-dressing, but we talk about, the whole Glenn/Glenda situation. We were talking about this last week, that we don't quite understand how Seed of Chucky has ended up being a Pride movie. I don't understand how this one doesn't.
I think it's because of the Leatherface stuff, right?
Well, so that's the thing, is that if you look at the Leatherface stuff, technically any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies could be a Pride movie, but it falls into that Norman Bates territory again, where it's like, is this good or bad representation? Darla is good representation, though. She's just a killer who's living her best life. She's caught up with a crazy psycho man, but also she's so into Renee Zellweger in this movie that it's insane.
Yeah.
I love it. New Pride icon, Darla from the Texas Chainsaw 4. I was so happy that I discovered this during Pride Month. And honestly, I love the chaos of this one so much. There was never a scene in this movie, having rewatched it, like knowing that I'd seen this movie before, there was no scene in this where I knew what the next scene was going to bring. And I adore it. It's good. I love this one.
Well, let's not throw around words like good.
I love it so much. It's so good. And the stick, the scene with the stick
is awesome in this movie.
I shouldn't even mention him, man.
No, Matthew McConaughey was great. And also they do a very cheap thing with the effects that I thought was actually really clever in this one, where a lot of it is just added sound in post. Like, it has some really interesting sound design. One being Matthew McConaughey's leg. Like, they just gave him a Ghostbusters tube to his leg.
That's a pool
and we're
tube.
like, it's a robot
I got one
leg.
of those on my pool. It's a pool tube. Little hose.
But then, like, they kind of sell it, you know, because it's making like all these robot sounds.
Although,
and it
at the beginning of the movie, it seemed like and it stopped, but there was a good stretch towards the beginning where I was like, have they just ADR'd all of this dialogue? I would say maybe
it gets off to kind of a shaky.
Like the first 10 minutes of the movie, it seems like all of the dialogue is ADR. I was like, what is going on? Is this whole movie going to be like this? But it seems like that kind of stopped after a little while. So I don't know what that was about.
That stick scene really pissed me off.
Really? I thought it was really funny. It's a really funny scene.
Like, why was she going to hit her with a stick in the first place? Like, what was it going to do? And she just goes, no, don't hit me.
Yeah.
Like what
and
the
she
fuck?
just says, okay, and gets in the car and goes home. Like,
because she's not really a killer, right? I mean, that's the whole
no
thing.
shit.
She's not, yeah.
It's like a chore. And then she gets back and she's like, you carry the pizzas, you go get the girl in the woods.
Yeah.
Like,
that was another thing. You brought in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, she bought a vegetarian pizza and brought it to Leatherface's house. That is a goddamn problem.
I think it's why she doesn't make it real.
Yeah.
She doesn't make it out real great at the end of this one.
She shouldn't have made it at all, man. I couldn't believe I was so mad.
And by the way, Kat, Renee Zellweger's best performance is Jerry Maguire. We all know that.
I don't think so. I think it's this one.
And Matthew McConaughey's best performance is Dazed and Confused.
That might be true.
That is true.
Maybe.
All right. My number 3, top 3 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. Jessica Biel, white tank top. I'm not taking any further questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep that train going. By default, this is the number 3. As far as like these 2000s remakes go, this one falls on the list of like, all right, it's not that bad. Like, I don't love it. I know a lot of people who really do love it. I've heard people say that they like it more than the original.
That's insane.
But it's got that 2000s remake shine on it, which is really annoying for a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I mean, like when they're showing Leatherface's like lair or whatever, there's a severed head on a like plate or something, and like some people's teeth in a jar, but there's no dirt. Like it looks like he's got a head on a plate and teeth in a jar, but he takes the time to dust. Like it's so fucking annoying to me. But by default, it has to be number 3.
I'll keep the train going. I really enjoy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. This was one I knew it was pretty much going to be my number 3 spot. Like, I had a blast with this. The first time I saw it and the subsequent times, but watching back through, because I had to watch Next Gen right before that, and I was like, I don't know if Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 is going to be like my remake, is going to be in my number 3 spot. But honestly, like, I was surprised at how much I still enjoyed it. I like those early 2000s. I don't like the remakes as much as I like just that era of film, but I do think this was one of the better ones. I had a blast. It's got some really cool shots. Everyone always talks about the gunshot at the beginning of this one, which I think is just really cool. There was something really unsettling about having to get back in the car with the corpse that it's
a really cool twist on the hitchhiker from the original, right? Like it's something different and interesting. I did appreciate that. Yeah.
And then Leatherface at the end, like that showdown. The one thing I don't like this more than the original. It does a lot of things way, way worse. The one thing that I do really like, Jessica Biel in her white tank top.
Hell of a deal.
She is a fighter. She feels like a final girl. Like she puts up a 2000s fight instead of a 1970s fight, you know? And I appreciated that. Like it felt like she had some grit. I liked this one a lot. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Mikey, we're number 2.
Yeah, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. God damn it. I knew we were going to have the same top 3 across the board. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the Leatherface. This is arguably one of the worst Leatherfaces as well. I don't like horny weirdo,
It's
going to the prom
but
suit Leatherface.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, it kind of works for the film.
No, it doesn't.
It
It's
does.
weird. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But everything else works.
I did not think we would have the same top 3 because I thought you would put the remake at number 2, to be honest.
No.
with you.
I also kind of thought that.
Absolutely
to be
not.
fair.
Because the main reason that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is my number 2, I got 3 reasons for that.
Top.
Chop Top, Bill Moseley, and Chop Top. Those are my 3 reasons. Bill Moseley, I love Bill Moseley. Has been a guest on the show several times. Just like one of those true. He's like the male version of D. Wallace. That fair?
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And you would have to ask
Yeah.
him,
No, I
don't
feel
know.
like
He
it, man.
lifts people up.
God damn it. Like she's in D. Wallace has those bangers that she's in, like the top tier, like, mega movies, but she's also in a lot of smaller films that you'd be like, what the fuck is that? But D. Wallace is in it and she's killing it. Like that's Bill Moseley. Like he has the big films that he's in, and he also has a lot of small films that you've never heard of. And he's in there doing his thing and being amazing because he's Bill fucking Moseley and he just loves horror just like D. Wallace does. So I always put him kind of on that tier as D. Wallace, even though he doesn't quite have his E.T. film, I guess. But yeah, I love Bill Moseley, man. He's an incredible human being and a very talented actor. And he's one of the true gems we have in the horror genre. And I feel like he doesn't get championed enough. So number 2, Texas Chainsaw 2, Chop Top. It is a crime we haven't seen him more in this franchise.
It is.
Yeah.
Because we had a sheriff prequel. Where was our Chop Top prequel?
We had a teenage
Right?
That's what we
Leatherface,
needed.
but not a fucking. I'm so mad.
We need a teenage Chop Top.
I would. You know what? Fine. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. DH Bill Moseley and have him do it though. That's how you got to do it.
Well, my number 2 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What?
Part 2.
I wasn't gonna fall for it, but the longer the silence went on,
I fell for it.
the more it was like I might have to kill him. I don't.
Yeah. No, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. This movie's fucking genius. It's so good. We talked about Bill Moseley and Chop Top. Let's not forget Dennis Hopper's in this goddamn movie.
Yeah.
And he's so fucking great. He my favorite one of my favorite things about this entire franchise is that he's a Texas Ranger. Now, I don't know much about the Texas Rangers. I assume they have guns, right?
Yeah, I'd assume.
And even if they don't, he goes to buy a weapon to fight the chainsaw guys, and it's not a bigger or better gun. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to buy 3 chainsaws, as if the fight has to be fair. Like the only way to fight a chainsaw guy is with a chainsaw. And I love that so much. And that scene where he buys the chainsaws is so fucking good. And then the guy's like, test them out. And he's just chopping the shit out of that tree stump. I love Dennis Hopper. I love him in this movie. They get a lot about being on the radio wrong, but I don't give a shit. It's just so much fun and absolutely ridiculous, over the top, just hilarious. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 all day.
All right.
I also have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. For me, it's the setting. Like, there are so many individual little details that I love about this movie. It's fun. The whole movie, it has sort of an almost whimsical feel, which I love, because they have the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was supposed to be like this absurdist, like crazy over the top, no one's gonna believe this, and then it ended up being like one of the most down to earth like traumatizing realistic films of all time, and so they were like, okay, well, that didn't do it, let's amp up how silly we can get. And they went for it. It's got that Evil Dead 2 kind of energy where they're just like, we're committing to all of the silliness about this premise. And they have like the whole bone mansion at the end, and I love it so much. It's so
There's
good.
a fucking chili cook-off.
There's
in
a
this
chili
movie.
cook-off.
Like, come on, how awesome is that?
Yeah, I adore this one.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Right. Which means that we all have the same
Of
number
course.
one.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. Near perfect horror film. Has never been recreated, has never been matched, has never, that feel, that vibe, that atmosphere, that heat has never been matched again. So, I mean, and Leatherface was like chef's kiss perfection. He was not a bird. He was an actual character that scared the shit out of you. And that Red Room too. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And just that, I mean, there are very few moments in horror that are as great as when Leatherface fucking hits Kirk with that hammer and then slams that door closed. Yeah. It's just so fucking good. I mean, obviously we have to deal with Franklin.
Yeah.
Who doesn't get less annoying throughout, no matter how many times I watch this movie. But yeah, it's a great movie. It's absolute classic. There are 2 great movies in this franchise, and then a whole lot of okay to really bad. And but yeah, if this hadn't been number one for all 3 of us, I would have been.
I would have quit the show. This was like one of those rare. I don't know how I could talk to you guys if you had not put this at number 1.
Yeah, although Mikey, I don't know, he could have put the remake up there.
I did not.
I will say I was prepared. I didn't think you were going to do it, but I came in prepared not to murder you if you had the remake above 2.
Literally had it in the same spot you motherfuckers did. God damn it.
I was worried though.
I did fully expect you to have the remake.
I don't know why.
Because I feel like when we did the episode on 2, you weren't very nice to it.
I was nice to it. It's just, look, we're measuring these movies up within the franchise. Like outside of its franchise, I don't think 2 is bad. One character is not enough to make, to save an entire movie. The leather.
But it's not one character, it's 2.
Yeah,
fucking Dennis Hopper's also in
but I'm talking the true shining star, man, is Bill Moseley and Chop Top to me. And, I also have to now get over that Leatherface is an afterthought, which is,
And you're acting like Stretch isn't a great character.
She wasn't even in our Murder Madness tournament, and we didn't even think to put her in there.
She's not great, but she is one of the stronger Texas Chainsaw characters.
Right.
Yeah, she's
no Benny.
Comes back in part 3.
Within the franchise, yeah, a lot of things were great in this, but outside of the franchise, if we're just talking about horror movies, this movie could have been better. Right. No, that's all. Yeah, then right. Same top 3. God damn it, I knew it. I just said it the other night. I knew it. But that's what it is.
I'm not mad though, because we have this moment of coming together before we go into the final rankings.
Oh, I'm gonna hate what you guys did to that thing.
You are not going to like how heavily weighted that final list goes to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you now.
Yeah, absolutely not. Do you think Kat had that thought process the whole time, Rob?
I don't know.
I will say, I really thought, like, when I chose Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a franchise, I went into this Murder Madness concept where it's like, we're doing big slashers. We did the big 3 slashers. I want to choose a franchise that's got, like a big horror villain that's really recognizable to kind of keep that momentum. And I was thinking about the ones that I liked most. And it's like, you know what? I have fun even with the bad Texas Chainsaws. Assuming that I was going to think most of them were bad Texas Chainsaws, I rediscovered a love for this franchise. I'm coming out very pleased with this. And I did kind of think we were going to have similar rankings. Like across franchises, but I now know going into next week I'm going to be the wild card, I think.
Yeah. Well, Mikey, I mean, his hatred of Leatherface and his love of fucking beginning is just.
You're gonna really drag down Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, you fucked Bride of Chucky blatantly. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It should have been better than Curse of Chucky,
Absolutely
and then it wouldn't be a problem.
Shame on you.
Anyway, that's all for that's all chatter for next week.
Yeah.
I will say I discovered a newfound love for Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation.
Yeah.
I didn't rank it higher than the remake on my list because I don't think it's a better movie.
Hell no.
But I do think I like it more. Like, I do think it's a movie it's more fun, and it's one I'm much more likely to revisit. And so that I think was a big deal for me, because I honestly, going into this, I would have been like, that's the worst one. Like, it's just so bad. But I hadn't seen it in so long. And yeah, I really did like that movie.
Well, I've discovered that I will never forgive Kat for making me watch all these movies back to back to back to back. And
but
this was the roughest of the franchises to watch, without a doubt.
This was my favorite of the franchises to watch, which was unexpected even for me. And Mikey, you have to forgive me because I rekindled your love for Texas Chainsaw Next Gen.
No, I don't love. Let's not use the word love now. I mean, it got Next Gen was 6 on my list of the Texas Chainsaw franchise. It didn't even get very high here.
I picked the best Pride movie that we've ever watched on this show.
That's unfortunately true.
That might be true. Yeah,
that might be true. All right. So next week we're ranking all of them together. I might have a little trick up my sleeve for you guys. That'll be fun. We'll talk. We'll see if that comes true next week. Until then, though, I just completely forgot all of our plugs. Patreon.com/radio. Tier starting as low as $3 a month. There is a 1-week free trial, so you can get all. It's not like you get you start the trial and everything that comes out for a week after that. You get no. You get all of it, the full catalog since Patreon started. A lot of people have brought up like older episodes, because every now and then we'll reference like publicly on our feeds on like iTunes, Spotify, wherever the hell you guys are listening. The only things on there is from like when Kat and Rob started the show.
Mm-hmm.
So everything prior to that, other than big interviews, are gone, but they live on Patreon. So I've seen a lot of people mention certain things, and the full episode from 1 till now is on there on Patreon. Extra show every week, before, after, and during the show nonsense that doesn't make the show. That's up on Patreon as well. You get that every week, and all visuals go up on there as well. Just support the show, goddammit. So it's free to try it out for a week. Go do that at patreon.com/radio. Follow us on Twitter @radio. All updates and everything go out there. YouTube, you can give us a sub over there if you're a listener, even if you don't use YouTube very much. Like, just hop on there and search /radio, give us a sub. And if you are looking, watching our videos, give us a like. It helps us put I say it all the time, a lot of people, if you can't support the show monetarily, like that's fine. Not everybody's got the money to spend, we get it, but these are free ways to support the show by getting us out there and helping our algorithm and all that. So YouTube @radio. And I'm at Mikey's Dead. You can also check out the show that I still swear to God that I do with Little Miss Huge Clown Penis.
I told you not to even mention it this week.
Allie Surreal. I just, before we got on to record, was just talking to Allie, and I told her, let's do it tomorrow. And Rob, you've heard me tell her little monkey ass that we need to get this done, and tried to get her to do it. And it's not on, granted, it's been on me before. It's not on me at this point. It's just not. I refuse to take full blame at this point, and I have been trying, but so this, I know I said it last week, but I'm saying it again this week. This might be, it might be out before this episode is. So Cult FM, horror movies, video games, stuff like that. Wherever you're listening to /radio, you can check out Cult FM. That we're going to talk about The Ring. And I know that is, what everyone wants to hear is what we think about the fucking Ring. But that episode's coming, I promise. Rob, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter @RadioRob123. You can listen to the other show that I do with Kat, the Nick fucking Woo Cagecast. That's Nick effing Woo Cagecast in your podcast player. And our episode on the Ant Bully is out there now. And we should have just released our episode on World Trade Center.
Okay. The World Trade Center. What? Really?
Yeah.
There's a movie. Yeah, he was in a movie about the World Trade Center.
I didn't know that. That's very interesting. I might watch that.
You can call in as our New York consultant.
Yeah. I might. When are you guys recording that?
You're not invited on the show. You can write a statement.
I need it for when you record, though.
Well, we don't know, Mikey. It's a little up in the air. We kind of play a little loosey-goosey sometimes with the Nick fucking Luke Cage cast.
Sorry, I expected you guys to be professionals. Imagine not knowing when you're going to record a show. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't know. Yeah. I missed the Italian thing. I'm still kind of upset I missed that a little bit. Kat, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter at @cat_Valor. You can check out my website, catvalor.com. You can buy my new book, My Apologies to Tanya Grace, through Slashik or Amazon or Barnes & Noble, pretty much wherever you get your books. So
what the fuck did you do to Tanya Grace? Leave that girl alone.
I did not leave that girl alone. I'm sorry.
Wow. That's very open-ended. Oh, my God. I don't think I want to know what you did to poor Tanya Grace now. God damn.
Well. Oh, also, shout out to Rob for being a good friend and supporting me and leaving a bunch of capiche hands in my book launch.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. Rob said Kat is being, whatever he said, that Kat was on IG Live. And I started, because he didn't even say where. Like, I just had to search all of fucking Instagram to find Kat fucking Valor. And I started looking, I'm like, okay, well, where? And then I was going to text him to say, well, fucking where, bro? Like, Instagram's huge. And my phone rang and I completely forgot. I was mad at, because me and Rob did one time. You were on an IG Live. So we were being annoying in your chat. Subtle annoyance in the chat. Subtle annoyance where only you would notice we're being annoying. So that's what we go for. Yeah, stop doing that though, motherfucker. You did it when we were doing it that one time. You don't need to do it again.
I just wanted the Cat to know I supported her.
You have to do that with capiche hands.
It's the easiest way I know, Mikey.
My favorite part is that Mikey wasn't even in the chat. That was just something Rob chose to do.
Yeah. He did that last time when I was there. Now, yeah, you're doing it when I'm not even there. I don't even know you're doing that, you son of a bitch. God. I completely forgot what I was going to say now. I don't even remember. All right, guys. Finale next week. Good night from Slasher Radio. Oh, and you motherfucker. Oh, and that much worse, all right?
You're all right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You could have another one.
No.
All the best of Slasher Radio podcast.